our, our undreamt dreams show up in the body. And the idea that, to me, and this makes sense to me, that you know how it looked like when I used the example of my books or Ian's shoulds, that wisdom will ramp up a notch to get your attention, ramp up a notch, ramp up a notch. By the time my friend was suicidal, they got the signals way earlier, but they blocked him out. I'm not listening. So it had to get really loud before wisdom had their attention, before their sanity had their attention. Well, by the time something's making its way into physical symptoms, wisdom's already tried all the usual paths. If it's in physical symptoms, that means that it got ignored, tuned out, whatever, earlier on in the signal chain. And I mean, speaking to those of you who work as, because I know you and Don both work as physical change, or have worked as physical, doing physical body work and stuff with people, is that your experience? Is that what you've seen?
Well, certainly that there will be an increase in the level of symptoms. So a symptom might be something that's positional initially, and then a tightness or a stiffness and so on, but it keeps going up.
And I mean, things like stress, the physical symptoms of stress and that sort of thing, it's a clear reflection of a misunderstanding. But I'd go so far as to say the feeling of stress is itself a signal about it's a pretty good sign that we've slipped into outside-in thinking. It's a pretty good sign. So I don't want to make it cognitive, so yeah, to turn that into another signal. What I'm pointing to is wisdom and recalibration as a natural, intuitive response. So think like a 3-year-old. They don't go, hang on now, I'm feeling all freaked out and tantrumy. I'm feeling my thinking, therefore, no, they just get to a point where it occurs to them that that's enough, and they recalibrate. Yeah, thanks, Don.
I've also noticed, just on the physical side, when you're working with people and you're working on their bodies, sometimes doing a physical adjustment allows them to reconnect with their wisdom, because they'll come out with some amazing stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you know, they'll come back for another session of how was it? Well, I've done this, and this with my life. All I did was stick a few needles in you. And that's their wisdom. So it's kind of, I see what you're saying on that. So it can go both ways.
Well, this idea that mind and body are a single system, it really makes sense to me. Like, is there anyone who that looks a bit of a stretch to? It's fine if there is. It just looks like the case to me. So like anyone who doubts that, if you've ever blushed or had a sexual fantasy and had a physical response to it, that's, yeah. Though I like the way you've got it under control during the courses at least half the time. That's, physical response to a mental phenomenon.